phone rang in the dead of night, shattering the silence of Samuel's suburban home in Chicago. It was the hospital, their voices clinical and detached. His twin brother Ben had been in a car accident, and he wasn't going to make it. Samuel, who hadn't spoken to Ben in over a decade since mocking his coming out and severing ties, felt a wave of guilt crash over him like a tidal wave, forcing him to confront the brother he'd abandoned and the life he'd dismissed as unnatural. Samuel stared at the ceiling, the weight of the news pressing down on his chest. He and Ben had been inseparable as kids, mirror images in every way. Same sandy hair, same piercing blue eyes, same infectious laugh. Born just minutes apart in a small town in Illinois, they shared everything from toys to secrets, until high school when Ben started pulling away, his smiles fading under the pressure of something unspoken. Their family was the epitome of Midwestern conservatism. Church every Sunday, barbecues with neighbors who quoted Bible verses, and a father who believed in tough love and traditional values. Samuel thrived in it, dating girls, playing football, and earning praise for being the good son. Ben, though, was different. He sketched in notebooks instead of joining sports, listened to indie music that Samuel teased him about, and avoided the locker room banter that made Samuel feel like one of the guys. The rift began in college. They both attended the University of Illinois, rooming together at first. One night, after a party, Ben sat Samuel down, his hands trembling. "Samuel, I need to tell you something. I'm gay." The words hung in the air like smoke. Samuel laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but Ben's serious expression made him recoil. "What? No, you're not. That's not you, man. You're my twin, we're the same." But they weren't. Samuel's reaction spiraled from denial to anger. "This is some phase, right? From all those artsy friends? Dad's gonna flip." Ben tried to explain, sharing stories of crushes he'd hidden, the fear of rejection. Samuel couldn't process it. In his world, being gay was a punchline, something whispered about outsiders, not family. He mocked Ben relentlessly that semester. "Don't drop the soap in the shower, bro." Or, "You checking out the guys in class?" It was meant as tough love, to snap Ben out of it, but each jab cut deeper. By sophomore year, Ben moved out of their dorm. Samuel told their parents, framing it as concern, but it unleashed a storm. Their father, a stoic mechanic, disowned Ben on the spot. "No son of mine lives like that." Their mother cried but followed suit, pleading with Ben to pray it away. Samuel, caught in the middle, chose sides. "If you're gonna live that way, don't drag us down," he told Ben during their last argument. Ben left for New York City after graduation, cutting ties with the family, while Samuel stayed in Illinois, building a life that mirrored their parents. Marriage to his high school sweetheart Lisa, a steady job in finance, and 2 kids of his own. Years passed. Samuel heard snippets about Ben through mutual friends. He'd become a successful graphic designer, met a guy named Marcus, and they got married when it became legal. Samuel scoffed at the news, calling it a sham to Lisa. He's just trying to prove a point. Deep down, though, envy flickered. Ben seemed happy in photos on social media, while Samuel's life felt rote, trapped in routines and unspoken regrets. Then came the accident. Ben and Marcus were driving back from a weekend trip when a drunk driver hit them head-on. Marcus survived with injuries, but Ben didn't. Samuel flew to New York for the funeral, his first time seeing Ben's world. The service was held in a modern chapel in Brooklyn, filled with diverse friends, artists, activists, couples of all kinds. Marcus, a tall black man with kind eyes, stood at the front, holding a toddler on his hip. That was Jamie, Ben and Marcus's adopted son, just 2 years old. Samuel approached Marcus after the ceremony, his throat tight. "I'm Samuel, Ben's brother." Marcus's gaze hardened. "I know who you are. Ben told me everything." The accusation stung, but Samuel pushed on. "I want to be involved. With Jamie. He's my nephew, blood family." Marcus shook his head. "Ben made it clear, you cut him out." "Why now?" The question haunted Samuel as he returned home. Lisa urged him to let it go. "You have our family. Don't stir up drama." But Samuel couldn't. He started researching adoption laws, learning that as Ben's twin, he might have a claim if Marcus was deemed unfit. A long shot, but the thought consumed him. Social media buzzed with opinions when a family friend posted about the feud. Some sided with Samuel, arguing blood ties mattered most, while others called him opportunistic, pointing to his past homophobia. Conflicts brewed. Samuel's parents, now elderly, heard about Jamie and pressured Samuel to bring the boy home, raise him right. They viewed Marcus as an outsider, whispering about two dads being unnatural. Samuel wrestled with his ingrained biases, remembering Ben's pain, yet clinging to the idea that a traditional family was best for Jamie. He reached out to Marcus via email, begging for visitation. "I was wrong. Let me make amends." Marcus replied curtly, "Amends? You mocked Ben until he left. Jamie's happy here." But Samuel persisted, hiring a lawyer to explore custody options, igniting a firestorm. Friends divided. Some accused Samuel of entitlement, others praised his redemption arc. The media caught wind, turning it into a debate on family, forgiveness, and LGBTQ rights. As tensions escalated, Samuel reflected on his choices. Had his mockery driven Ben away, or was it inevitable? The guilt gnawed, pushing him toward change, or was it just selfishness disguised as regret? Samuel paced his living room, the lawyer's words echoing, "You have a case, but it'll be ugly." The idea of dragging Marcus through court felt wrong, yet the pull to connect with Jamie was overwhelming. He imagined the boy, curly hair like Ben's, innocent eyes, growing up without knowing his uncle, his blood. Flashbacks flooded him. Growing up, Ben had always been the sensitive one, defending Samuel from bullies despite being the smaller twin. In elementary school, when kids teased Samuel for his stutter, Ben punched the ringleader, earning them both detention. "We're a team," Ben said then. But Samuel repaid that loyalty with betrayal. In New York, Marcus balanced grief and fatherhood. He'd met Ben at a design conference 5 years ago. Their connection was instant, built on shared dreams and laughter. They adopted Jamie from foster care, a process fraught with scrutiny as a same-sex couple. Ben had beamed as a father, teaching Jamie to draw, reading bedtime stories. Now, alone, Marcus faced Samuel's intrusion. Samuel flew back to New York for a mediation session, arranged through lawyers. They met in a neutral office, Jamie playing in a corner with toys. Up close, the toddler looked so much like Ben it hurt. "Hi, buddy," Samuel said softly. Jamie glanced up, curious but shy. Marcus spoke first. "Why do you want this? You hated what Ben was." Samuel swallowed. "I didn't hate him. I was scared. Our family. It was all I knew." He admitted the mockery, the cruel jokes that masked his confusion. "I thought if I pushed hard enough, he'd change. But I was the one who needed to." The session revealed layers. Marcus shared Ben's journals, entries about the pain of rejection. "Samuel was my mirror, but he shattered it." Samuel wept, seeing the damage. Yet Marcus wasn't swayed. "Forgiveness isn't automatic. And Jamie? He's my son too. We built this family." Back in Chicago, societal pressures mounted. Samuel's church community split. Some prayed for him to save Jamie from a sinful home, invoking outdated views on homosexuality. Others, younger members, challenged that, citing love and acceptance. Samuel's kids, teenagers now, questioned him. "Dad, why didn't we know Uncle Ben?" His daughter Sarah, 15, researched LGBTQ issues online, confronting Samuel. "You were wrong. People are born that way." Lisa struggled too. Their marriage strained under Samuel's obsession. "You're fixated on fixing the past, but what about us?" she asked. Samuel realized his pursuit risked everything. Yet the thought of Jamie growing up without Ben's stories, their twin antics, family holidays, felt like losing Ben again. A turning point came at a family gathering. Samuel's parents arrived, demanding action. "That man isn't family," his father growled. Samuel snapped. "Marcus loved Ben when we didn't. That's family." The word surprised even him, a crack in his armor. He called Marcus, apologizing sincerely. I don't deserve it, but let me visit. No custody fight. Marcus agreed tentatively, setting ground rules. Their first visit was awkward. Jamie warmed slowly, drawing pictures with Samuel. Marcus watched, guarded but open. Conflicts persisted. Online trolls targeted them, homophobic rants against Marcus, accusations of greed against Samuel. A local news story framed it as twins regret, battle for gay brother's child, sparking debates on redemption versus accountability. Was Samuel's change genuine or performative? As months passed, Samuel volunteered at an LGBTQ center, educating himself. He faced his biases head-on, attending pride events incognito, listening to stories like Ben's. The emotional toll was high. Therapy sessions unearthed buried shame. I mocked him because I feared difference, he confessed. Meanwhile, Marcus navigated single parenthood, leaning on friends. He missed Ben fiercely, their quiet evenings, shared parenting joys. Jamie's questions, "Where's Papa?" broke his heart. Allowing Samuel in felt like betrayal. Yet Ben had once said, "Family can heal." The story built toward confrontation. Samuel proposed a shared arrangement. Holidays together, co-parenting from afar. Marcus resisted, fearing instability. Jamie's life is here, with our community. Samuel pushed. But I'm blood. Doesn't that count? The debate ignited family therapy, where truths emerged. Samuel admitted his mockery stemmed from envy. Ben's authenticity versus his conformity. Marcus revealed Ben's final wish. If anything happens, keep Jamie safe from judgment. High drama unfolded when Samuel's parents sued for grandparents' rights, blindsiding everyone. Samuel had to choose. Side with them or Marcus. The courtroom loomed like a battlefield, tension thick as Samuel's parents filed for visitation rights, claiming Jamie needed proper grandparents. Samuel sat between worlds, his lawyer advising neutrality, but his heart rebelled. "This isn't about you," he told his father outside. "It's about what's best for Jamie." The hearing exposed raw wounds. Witnesses testified, friends of Ben and Marcus praising their stable home, contrasting with Samuel's family's history of rejection. Samuel's mother sobbed on the stand. "We made mistakes, but blood is blood." The judge, a stern woman, questioned motives. "You disowned your son. Why now?" Marcus, composed but weary, described life post-Ben. Playdates in Brooklyn's diverse parks, therapy for grief, a support network of queer families. Jamie's thriving. Uprooting him for people who mocked his father? That's harm. Samuel testified last, voice steady. "I was wrong. My mockery destroyed our bond. But I've changed, volunteering, learning. I want to honor Ben by being there for Jamie." Cross-examination hit hard. Changed? Or convenient after death? Samuel faltered, admitting lingering doubts about same-sex parenting. A slip that drew gasps. The judge ruled against the grandparents, citing abandonment, but encouraged voluntary contact. Samuel's parents stormed out, disowning him too. "You're choosing them over us." The irony burned. Now Samuel tasted rejection. Rebuilding began slowly. Samuel visited monthly, bonding with Jamie over parks and stories of Ben. "Your papa was the best artist," he'd say, showing old sketches. Jamie giggled, calling him Uncle Al. Marcus softened, sharing meals, discussing Ben's quirks. Yet conflict simmered. At a family barbecue in Chicago, Samuel invited Marcus and Jamie. Lisa hosted reluctantly, but neighbors whispered, "Two dads? What's next?" Sarah defended, "Love is love, guys." A heated argument erupted when a guest quoted scripture against homosexuality. Samuel intervened. "Enough. Ben was my brother, and this is his family." The incident went viral after Sarah posted about it, dividing opinions. Supporters hailed Samuel's growth. Critics called it too little, too late. Can homophobes really change? Forums debated. Samuel faced backlash at work, clients pulling accounts over controversy. Emotionally, Samuel unraveled. Dreams of Ben haunted him. Accusing eyes, silent pleas. Therapy revealed twin bond complexities. Identity intertwined, Samuel's mockery a projection of self-doubt. I felt like if Ben was different, so was I, he realized. Marcus, too, evolved. He dated tentatively, introducing a new partner, eliciting Samuel's unease. Jamie's got enough change, Samuel argued. Marcus retorted, my life doesn't stop. Ben wanted me happy. A major clash occurred during holidays. Samuel begged for Jamie at Christmas. Traditions matter. Marcus refused. Our tradition is Hanukkah lights with friends. Ben's choice. Samuel accused cultural erasure, but it was his fear of losing connection. Resolution loomed at Ben's death anniversary. They gathered at his grave, Jamie placing flowers. Samuel spoke, I'm sorry, bro, for everything. Marcus nodded. He'd forgive you. They agreed on shared custody elements. Summers in Chicago, communication open. But society pushed back. A conservative group petitioned against non-traditional families, using their story as example. Samuel spoke out publicly, family isn't blood alone. It's choice, love, forgiveness. The speech trended, sparking national dialogue on redemption in divided times. As bonds strengthened, Samuel reflected on choices. Had his plea stemmed from guilt or genuine love? The story's layers unfolded, emotions raw, logic probing. Was change possible, or scars permanent? With shared time established, Samuel immersed in Jamie's world. Weekends in New York meant story time in Brooklyn brownstones, where diverse families normalized what Samuel once scorned. Jamie's laughter echoed as they baked cookies. Ben's recipe. Flour dusting their faces. Yet undercurrents of conflict persisted. Lisa filed for divorce, citing Samuel's absenteeism. You're living in the past. The split devastated their kids. Sarah blamed Samuel. You fixed one family by breaking ours. Samuel moved to a smaller apartment, juggling visits and rebuilding. Marcus faced his own trials. His new boyfriend, Eli, a teacher, bonded with Jamie. But Samuel bristled at another dad. During a video call, Samuel snapped, Ben's spot isn't replaceable. Marcus hung up, emailing, You're not the gatekeeper. This is my life. The feud escalated at a school event. Jamie's preschool celebrated families. Samuel attended, clashing with Eli over photos. I'm blood family, Samuel insisted. Eli countered, Family is who shows up. Parents whispered, judging the drama. Social media amplified it. A thread titled Straight Uncle versus Gay Dad. Who deserves the kid? Garnered thousands of comments. Some argued biology trumped all. Blood wins. Others defended chosen family. Abusers don't get second chances. Samuel's past mockery resurfaced in old posts, fueling cancel culture calls. He hit rock bottom, drinking alone, questioning everything. A call from Sarah pulled him back. Dad, Ben wouldn't want this hate. Be better. Inspired, Samuel apologized to Marcus in person, admitting jealousy. You had the life with Ben I envied, authentic, free. Marcus shared vulnerabilities. Losing Ben broke me. Raising Jamie alone terrifies me. They bonded over grief, toasting Ben with his favorite wine. Eli joined, easing tensions. Samuel saw his kindness, reminiscent of Ben. High stakes arose when Jamie fell ill, a fever spiking. Marcus rushed him to ER. Samuel flew in, panicking. Waiting together, they confronted fears. If something happens, Samuel trailed. Marcus gripped his hand. We're in this together now. Jamie's recovery strengthened their alliance. Samuel advocated for LGBTQ rights at work, losing some colleagues but gaining respect. His parents reached out tentatively, softened by time. We miss you. Samuel set boundaries. Accept all of us or nothing. The narrative peaked at Jamie's third birthday. A joint party in Central Park blended worlds. Chicago relatives mingling with New York friends. Laughter mixed with tears as they shared Ben's stories. Samuel watched Jamie blow candles, thinking, this is family, messy, evolved. But controversy lingered. A documentary producer approached, wanting their story. Samuel hesitated. "It'll stir debate." Marcus agreed. "Let it. Show change is possible." Airing the film ignited panels. Does regret erase harm? Experts debated psychology of bias, societal shifts, post-marriage equality. Viewers polled. 52% believed Samuel deserved involvement, 48% not. A split reflecting America's divides. Samuel's journey culminated in self-acceptance. He dated openly, exploring fluidity he once denied. "Ben taught me late," he journaled. As the story wove emotions and choices, logic tightened. Forgiveness demanded action, not words. Conflicts resolved not neatly, but authentically, paving for finale. Years blended into a new normal. Jamie, now 5, shuttled between homes seamlessly. New York creativity with Marcus and Eli. Chicago stability with Samuel and his new partner, a woman supportive of his growth. Holidays alternated, traditions merged. Christmas trees with Hanukkah gelt. Yet echoes of past mocked Samuel. At Jamie's school play, a parent recognized him from the documentary. "You're that uncle who begged after mocking." Samuel nodded. "Guilty, but I've learned." The encounter sparked reflection. Was his redemption complete or ongoing? Marcus thrived, marrying Eli in a small ceremony. Samuel attended as best man, toasting to chosen brothers. Jamie beamed as ring-bearer, oblivious to history's weight. Societal clashes continued. When a bill restricting LGBTQ adoptions arose, Samuel testified against it, drawing from experience. Denying love harms kids. His advocacy clashed with old friends, costing relationships but affirming change. Emotional peaks hit during milestones. At Ben's grave on the 10th anniversary, Jamie asked, "Why didn't you like Papa at first?" Samuel knelt. "I was scared of different, but love wins." The boy hugged him. "I love you, Uncle Al." The family expanded. Marcus and Eli adopted a sibling for Jamie, testing dynamics. Samuel supported, quelling jealousy. More love to go around. Logic prevailed in choices. Samuel's initial plea, born of guilt, evolved into commitment. He funded Jamie's art classes, honoring Ben, while Marcus taught resilience. Conflicts waned, but debates endured. Online forums dissected blood versus bond, which defines family. Samuel engaged anonymously, pondering his path. In quiet moments, Samuel wondered if Ben watched, approving. The twin bond, once shattered, mended through Jamie, a living legacy. The story closed on a summer day, families picnicking. Laughter rang as Jamie chased fireflies, worlds united. But was Samuel's redemption truly earned, or did his brother's death conveniently force it? True or false? Family obligations transcend past mistakes only if the change is selfless.